Okay, so this lesson is about understanding how to use the mass and momentum of your entire body in time with your sweet spot. Okay, and so however good you get with this will be however good you become as a player relative to your talent level. So there's a lot of things like you'll see with the pendulum, understanding establishing transition, and then you'll understand the middle and the side of the shaft, and it was what we talk about. And then you'll understand that this one, the mass momentum tied in with the sweet spot, they're all correlated together. So it's not just this, and it's not just that. You want to just really hone those skills in all zones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 10-yard scale, which is probably even a better way to describing it, with the sandwich where you master that. We have the 10-yard scale and the 5-yard scale. If you're a beginning golfer and never played, and I still do the 5-yard scale. So even if you're advanced, 5-yard scale is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The 10-yard scale is going to be 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards. Being able to hit it, the perfect compression on the ball, the perfect start line on the ball, not a foot off or a yard or 3 yards here and there. Perfect compression, not missing anything. Getting the ball to start on it, I'm talking about within inches of the target, okay? And then especially 5 to 10 yards, even up to probably 50. So then after that you have trajectory control. All right. So if you have trajectory control, you have total ball control. That's going to be curvature, left and right, a draw, a fade, or a straight ball, and that overall distance you control that ball. So those are the 4 things that you're looking for as a player. So, and these 3 things will definitely get you where you want to go as a player. Okay. So mass and momentum. First thing as we talk about is you got to establish transition. So establishing transition, what does that look like? When I go back, we're just going to do a quick review, and I go back to establish transition, it's going to get, wherever that's going to be, right before the end of the swing, it'll get slower, the body will collect all the torque, and you get your body inclined for the root like we talk about. So you get your body ready to go, you just come to a full stop, and everything is rooted, and it's paused for a split second. Then you come out of transition, right, very slowly, and then from there you basically go from you use the middle and the side of the shaft for ball control, okay? So do that one more time with this drill here. You turn back, you establish transition, you come out of transition slowly. Notice I didn't move this. So I went here, slow, gradually I moved the club gradually wider, and the handle and the face get into a straight line right back into here. And you notice my hips on this iPad, they look strong not because they are strong, they look strong because of how I'm using them mechanically. This would be, if I was doing it like this, I would look like a lot of your videos that you guys will send. It'll look like this. And the reason why that doesn't look, you wonder why that looks weak and why I look stronger, is because of the depth of the hips as you're doing this. So as you're practicing, you can kind of relax, get up on your toes. Talk about you turn back, you relax. You can see I've got tremendous depth to whatever zone I go into in here. So that's how you establish transition. You use the middle and the side of the shaft by doing this drill we talk about. That's the right lifeline drill, the right lifeline, or if you're a lefty, it would control it, the backhand. We get that right lifeline on playing the ball, and there you go. It's just going to aid to so much more. See, if I get this right lifeline, sometimes you hear me talk about, if I get here and I pull that right lifeline over and tip it over, or if I push the right line up and under, that's going to affect the side of the shaft. So when you're chipping, you can keep control of this right lifeline. You can see right here, that looks like this. See, I've got full control because I can take these fingers off like this and hit shots, see, just like this. I don't even have the only thing I have is my left thumb on the grip. I put my right lifeline, not on the side, not way over, just right here. That's connected to my lifeline, and I can practice doing these little shots, you see, and I've got full control just through the lifeline. That's how powerful that is. So I've got the middle and the side of the shaft. Now I can still do all this crazy stuff, but it's not going to fix that. You have to make sure you're establishing the shaft as it's hitting down here, it's moving forward, right? Where it's supposed to. It's not moving out, it's not moving in. So that's the second part, okay? The third part is after you've established transition and you started to get really good in zone 1s, 2s, and 3s, then what you want to do is you want to apply wherever the sweet spot moves, this being the sweet spot in the right hand, left hand, whenever they move to make this movement casting forward. Okay, so you'll come out, everything's connected, And as they start, the sweet spot starts to inch towards the ball, my body, even though you don't see it, it's moving forward gradually, okay? That's mass and momentum. So it looked like this. There's the pendulum, out of the pendulum, I'm casting it, and in line. And you can see it's just a piece of cake. I still am rooted. See, I'm not doing this. Or I'm not, let's see if I can do it. This is pretty common. That's not correct. You're going to do better just because you're doing the components better, but you're killing yourself by pushing your hips forward. Now, you see, when I get here, I'm up on my toes forward. I'm leaning this way. Now, I didn't bend way down. I don't want to do that. I'll kill my rotation. I'm just up here forward, right here, see? So then when I'm training, I've got more depth in my hips, see? That's going to acquire for more torque in through the shot. So it's here, pause, cast the middle. So that's what it looks like. So I'm here. It's just right there. So when I'm practicing this, I'm using the mass. So I've established transition into it, into the second and the third, and I go to cast gently and move my body mass forward without allowing my head to move an inch. So you can see that if you're having problems moving your head, this is very common. Players will start to move their head in these drills. That's not what you want to do. Watch how I do this. Okay? See, this didn't move an inch right here. But my body's forward. See, they're not related. So what a lot of people will do this, see, and then they'll go, oh shit, I can't hit the ball. And then they'll try to twist their hips, keep their head back. Then they pull the shaft in and masse it, right, across the ball. Watch this. If I do this slowly, my hips are not related. They can go, I can keep my head in a lot of different positions. It hadn't moved at all. You're in control of your head. They're separate. And because you're working on one doesn't mean this is going to be good either, or vice versa. You have to study yourself and learn this, right? I mean, you may be doing this drill and going like this. This is common with good players. They'll do this drill and they'll tilt the side of the shaft up and back and all this stuff that we don't want to do. And they're still somewhat rooted, but their body alignments to strike, you can see, it's going to be really challenged for timing. Okay? Again, if you were stuck in this position, guess what? If you learn how to get the center and the side of the shaft where it needs to be, you can play some great golf. There's players that played that way, that's for sure. We're just trying to show you the most optimal way to move towards, because anything you move towards where you're moving this way, the way we're teaching it, if you just get 1% better, you're getting better. Okay? Imagine getting all the way, and it's not going to happen overnight. And so a lot of you competitive players on there, that's going to help you in a lot of ways, and it can hurt you. Okay? You're not going to bypass the pace of the game. So everybody had to pay a certain price and gradually learn this thing as they went along. Nobody just was handed the wand. There was a few guys that were out of the millions and millions and millions that played that could play, you know, really high level young. But if you look at it, even the great players didn't play good until they were in their 30s. Okay, and so a lot of you that are starting up might have played 10 or 15 years, and you still are struggling. And a lot of it's because not knowing what to do. But when you, even now that you know what to do, don't rush the process. Just enjoy the process. Enjoy the game. Don't become this lab rat. I mean, I'm just giving you great tips because I've seen that happen with players, and they just get, even if you're working on the right